my name is Eula and today we're gonna read Wayside School is Falling Down starting at Chapter 19, A Bad Case of Syllus. Yes. And we're gonna start reading at this chapter and then I'm reading at the next chapter for today. But there's a picture of some student have landed on the 19th floor and Mrs. Gorf is working at the 19th floor, but there is no 19th floor. That means no Mrs. Gorf. So let's see what happened to the students and in the 19th floor too. Now already for read this one book with a lot of stories. Now here we go. And first we can read Wayside School is Falling Down, starting in chapter 19, A Bad Case of Syllus. Allison started up the stairs 5 minutes. Oh, she's Allison. 5 minutes before the bell rang for the school to start. The stairs were completely empty. Allison liked it that way. When the bell rang, stairs would be crammed with 1,000 screaming kids scurrying to their rooms, but now it's nice and peaceful. She walked past the 18th story and through the 20th. There's no 19th story in Wayside School. Mrs. Darbs taught the class in the 19th story. There is no Miss Darbs. Yes, Mrs. Gorf was working there too, and Mrs. Darbs too. So both of them are invisible, not in the 19th store, maybe in the basement, but everybody don't want to see Mrs. Gorf and Miss Darbs, so they didn't go inside there. There is no Miss Darbs. Allison didn't understand it. If there is no 19th story, then wasn't her class really on the 29th? Suddenly, she heard the footsteps charging up behind her. She turned around to see Ron and Dee Dee racing. She leaned against the wall to get up their way, but Dee Dee had stamped on her foot. Then Ron's elbow jammed her stomach. Oomph, she groaned, and she fell in the rolling down 3 steps. Dee Dee and Ron didn't even stop to say they were sorry. Allison slowly stood up. Fortunately, she wasn't hurt, but her windbreaker was torn. She thought Ron and Dee Dee were silly. They have raced up to the stairs. When they got to Mrs. Joe's room, they're too pumped to learn anything. Allison thought all the kids in Mrs. Joe's class were silly, even Rondi. Rondi was her best friend. Then there was Jason, who was always pressing her because Jason hated her, or else he loved her. Allison wasn't sure which. And when she got to the class, Dee Dee and Ron were sitting on their heads flat under the desk and tongues hanging out. You could have said you're sorry, Allison said as she walked past them. She sat up straight in her chair, floating her hands on the desk and made everyone else wonder then. Jason entered the room carrying a glass of bowl with a goldfish swimming inside. Look what I brought, he said. What's the name of your goldfish? Said Mrs. Jules. Shark, said Jason. Everyone left. Allison rolled her eyes. It makes me feel important, Jason exclaimed. Where should I put him? How about the top of the closet? Suggested Mrs. Jules. Jason had to stand in a chair with his tip-tops. They held the bowl at the very bottom as he tried to nudge it over the edge of the closet. Slowly flopped it over. Ah, gloop, yelled Jason as he fell on the floor. He was holding a bowl upside down above his red face. Mrs. Jules hurried back to the room. Quickly, somebody filled the bowl with water. She said, "Where is the shark?" Jason made a face. "I swallowed him." The class went crazy. "What a show-off," thought Ellison. Mrs. Jules rang her cowbell and told everyone to settle down. "You had a bad case of silliness this morning," she said. She took a roll. "Who of Ben's?" she said. "Ellison," said Ronnie. "Very funny, Ronnie," said Ellison. "Anybody beside Ellison?" asked Mrs. Jules. "I'm here," Mrs. Jules said. Ellison, she said behind Eric Fry, so she thought Mrs. Jules couldn't see her. Eric Fry was the biggest kid in the class. "Just Ellison," said Mrs. Jules. Mrs. Jules, she marked it on her green roll card. "Damien, would you please take the roll card to the office?" Allison stood up. "I'm not Ovens," she said. Damien took a roll card, walked out of the door. "Mrs. Jules, did you just mark me Ovens?" said Mrs. Jules. Mrs. Jules didn't answer her. Allison marched to her desk. "Mrs. Jules, did you mark me Ovens?" she asked again. Mrs. Jules stood up. "Terence, what are you whispering about?" "Nothing," mumbled Terence. "If you can't say it to Jenny, you can say it to me," said Mrs. Jules. "Get off my case, puzzle face," said Terence. "Terence!" exclaimed Mrs. Jules. "Go write your name on the blackboard under discipline." That's what I said to Jenny," Terence protested. "Mrs. Jules, what about me?" Allison demanded. Mrs. Jules ignored her. Allison screamed as loud as she could. Mrs. Jules didn't hear her. Allison faced the class. "Can everybody see me?" she said. Nobody answered her. "Bronte?" shouted Allison. "Dana? Jason?" "That isn't funny," said Allison. "I know you're just pretending." She stood right in front of Jason and leaned over his desk and stared at him straight in the eye. "I know you can see me," she said. "You're trying not to laugh." He stared right through her. She stuck out her tongue at him, and he leaned forward, causing Allison's tongue to lick his nose. "Yuck!" she exclaimed, and wiped her tongue with her sleeves. Mrs. Jules began the morning lesson. "Have you gone crazy?" shouted Allison. She ran out of the room and down the class onto the 29th story. "Come quick," she said. "There's something wrong with Mrs. Jules' class." No one heard her. She slammed the door and continued down the stairs to the class on the 28th floor. No one saw her there either. Tears screamed out of her cheeks. "Is the whole school playing joke on me?" she wondered. She wondered. "It's not funny," she shouted as loud as she could. She continued down the stairs, screaming anything that would come onto her head, hoping that someone somewhere would notice her. "Fish for sale, fresh fish, fat fish, get your fresh fat fish." A tall, shiny lady with the very short hair stepped out of one of the classrooms. "Shh," she whispered. "This is a school, not a fish market." "You can hear me?" said Allison. She was so happy. She wanted to hug her. "Yes, I can hear you," said the woman sternly. "My whole class can hear you. You make it impossible for us to get any work done." "I'm sorry," said Allison, "but something wrong in Mrs. Jules' class." "You'd better come in here," said the teacher. Allison followed the teacher to the classroom. "What's your name?" said the teacher. Asked her. "Allison." "Boys and girls, this is Allison," said the teacher, announced to her students. "She'll be joining our class." What? Said Ellison. But my name is Miss Sarves, said teacher. Welcome to the 19th story. Wow, that's a very scary story. There's no 19th story. There's no Miss Sarves. But this is Mrs. Sarves, Miss Sarves, and Ellison is standing on the 19th story. Wow, that's very scary book. So let's see what happened to Ellison. And in the 19th story for tomorrow, but it might be a new beginning. Yes, maybe new beginning, new stories. If I had a lot of time to read all of this book. Now, please subscribe my YouTube and bye-bye, everyone.